Hi Sagittarius, welcome to this reading. This is going to be a relationship reading. So this reading could be for you if you are a Sagittarius sun or ascendant, or if the person that you're dealing with is a Sagittarius, you might also find some helpful messages here that will guide you. So this is a general reading. It's also possible that the roles can be reversed in the reading sometimes too. Not all the messages will be for you, but sometimes there can be a bit of vice versa in the readings as well. So this reading could also be for not only love, romantic relationships, but any type of connection that you're having that you need a little insight on. It could be a family member or a friend, a co-worker or a business partner, or someone you've just met recently that's coming in. So yeah, just take it as it comes. Let's get started. So this first card here is going to be how you see yourself. This is how you see them, how they see themselves, how they see you. This is the energy between you. This is the energy that challenges. This is the overall energy. And this is the potential outcome. High Priestess reversed. Okay, and then on the bottom of the deck we have Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay. There's a few major arcana cards in your reading. Just give me a moment here with this energy. I feel here in your reading, Sagittarius, that you are feeling a little bit challenged by the person that you're dealing with. I feel like you feel that they are that they have a lot of emotional baggage, and that's making it really difficult for you to be able to make any kind of moves. Right? With the Hangman here, it's like it feels to me like you feel a little bit stuck and unable to either make decisions or make movements or even communicate to them. Because the way that you're seeing them is this Ten of Wands. Like you're seeing them as weighed down with a lot of heavy burdens and problems and emotional baggage and difficulties, and there's also a feeling there of like the way that they work is very different to you. Whether this is a romantic or a work relationship reading, either way, it feels like the way that you move through life and handle situations and handle yourself and handle your emotions and handle your workload feels really different than the way that they do. And I think that feels a little frustrating to you because you kind of feel like you're at the mercy of them and their process, and that feels rather frustrating and a little confusing at the same time. It also feels like your flow is impeded in a way that makes you feel like everything's taking so long and it's really slow moving, and it's like from your side you're like, it doesn't have to be this way. I don't see why it has to be this way. It's not right. It's like you have patience, but only to a point, I would say, because these two cards here in the middle of the reading are both cards about momentum and energy moving forward and like forward movement. Knight of Pentacles and the Chariot. They're both like they have a direction, they have a place to go, they have tasks to achieve, they have goals and aspirations. And both of these cards are in the reading here in the reverse position. So that feels to me like you're rather frustrated by things feeling so incredibly slow moving. And I think it's to the point now where you're actually questioning if you're going to be able to maintain your commitment to this person, because this feels like such a drag, honestly. I'm tuning into your energy. It feels like you're so dragged down by this, or that you're so frustrated by how long things take or how slow moving things are, that it's really fundamentally questioning your ability to maintain a commitment to a process, because it's just so unlike the way that you would do things. Now, usually I would read that your side and then their side, but I kind of ended up in the middle here because it was really tied in there. So I'll go here now. How they see themselves is strength. So that's interesting. That's really beautiful. The way they see themselves is strength. So while you're seeing them as having all this emotional baggage, right? They're seeing themselves as strong and brave and courageous. Or at least if they don't necessarily see themselves as with those qualities, they are aware that that's what they need right now, or that's what they're really digging deep within themselves to work with and to find in order to be able to handle all the things that are on their plate. It does indicate, usually when the Strength card comes out, that a person is going through something rather difficult and that they are required to dig deep on their reserves of energy to be able to go the distance in whatever it is that they're going through. So it's right. It's probably right that they do have a lot of baggage and that they are kind of like weighed down by a lot of troubles and difficulties. But I think like the way that you're seeing them is more of like they have burdens and that's becoming a burden on you. That's how I'm feeling that energy. But from their side, they are it feels to me like they are actually genuinely giving their best in the circumstance that they're facing, and that it is actually something rather very transformative for them, and something that has been going on for a long time. Some kind of particular troublesome issue has been kind of going on for a long time, and that they also are probably tired of it, I'm sure. But I think the way that you're looking at them and their issues and the way that they're looking at themselves and their issues is coming from a very different angle. Now, the way that they're seeing you is Page of Wands in reverse, which is interesting as well. It's also a very fiery energy. How I would read this is that I feel that this person is aware that you're feeling impatient, and they might be starting to get a little bit frustrated by that as well. So I feel like there's impatience and frustration on both sides of the fence here. They're seeing you as Page of Wands, which actually is an energy of someone who's a little bit immature emotionally and rather petulant, and maybe has like little outbursts or temper tantrums and things like that. I'm not accusing you here. I'm just saying that the energy of the Page of Wands, if we're talking about how they see you, they might be like kind of picking up on an energy coming from you that is maybe a little immature emotionally, maybe considering what they are dealing with. They might be considering your stance to be a little unfair or maybe too rigid, considering the level of seriousness of the problems they have or the issues that they're facing. But it could also be that they're aware that you're feeling overwhelmed by what their experience is right now, and that it's affecting you too. So there's also that. Now back to the central part of the reading, which is kind of talking about the shared energy between you. This is your side, that's their side. Now I've kind of already covered these two, so I won't repeat myself, but I'll say here with the Three of Cups in reverse, that's a challenging energy, and then the High Priestess in the reverse in the outcome position. It feels to me like the challenge here is for you both to find a way to get back to a time when things were a little bit more fun and lighthearted. Now that might sound a little dismissive on my part, given that probably you're both going through things which are rather difficult. But the point of that, why I'm saying that is I feel that the situation here is not beyond repair. I think there's a lot of love here. I think there's a lot of care and compassion and concern and support for each other. But I feel like there's this kind of drudgery or heaviness or seriousness that's kind of taken over the situation. And I think in order to come back to a space where you can find more perseverance and strength and patience and endurance for each other and for the process, there needs to be an injection of fun into the situation. There needs to be something lighthearted and easygoing. There needs to be some pleasure. There needs to be more enjoyment. There needs to be perhaps some kind of activities or events or adventures that are outside of your normal way of engaging with each other, to bring back some spark, to bring back some connection, like to be able to like just connect on a different level than you have been with all this kind of heavy emotional responsibility that's here. So yeah, I think fun is the key word here. Reconnecting on an emotional, like on a level of emotion which is not about all this other heavy emotional stuff, but on the level of emotion which is just about lighthearted fun and pleasure and bonding, and maybe not just the two of you alone, but maybe in a community setting or with friends and family, something like that. Now the High Priestess in the reverse in the outcome position, and the Chariot in the reverse in the overall energy. The High Priestess is about truth and hidden things coming to light, secret occult wisdom. It's about it's a very spiritual energy. It's a very deep, mystical energy. How I'm feeling it in your reading in the reverse position, in the context of the potential outcome, I feel that there are hidden things here. There's some secrets that are not being revealed. If not from each party here involved, it could be that both of you are kind of keeping something from each other that is maybe affecting your ability to connect with each other. Another way I'm seeing this is that your person has something going on that they are not able to share with you or don't want to share with you, maybe because you've already expressed a little frustration and impatience with them with what they're going through. So I kind of feel like they don't want to trouble you or burden you with something else. That's one thing. The third interpretation I'm going to give on the High Priestess reverse is that it's something even bigger than that, in that there is some kind of spiritual lesson here for you both, which neither of you are aware of yet. I feel for someone watching this that there could be some kind of sexual issue here that could be part of what the emotional baggage is. It could be part of what the ongoing, very drawn out process is that's here. It could be also part of what the High Priestess in reverse is saying, is that there's some kind of troubling issue that is hidden and unspoken. And it has to do with it being disconnected from one's own self, like one's own sexual energy or one's own feminine energy, something like that. The Strength card can also be actually a card of sexual energy, like it's like the Strength card is one of those cards from the tarot, which is like, most people take it at face value and see it as a very simple, like straightforward meaning. But actually the Strength card is very deep and tantric and connected to a type of, again, mystical, earthy kind of wisdom. It's almost like the Strength card is like the mystical, earthy part of feminine energy, and the High Priestess is the mystical, otherworldly part of feminine energy. So they're very much connected. But yeah, I do feel like there's something really deep that's being healed here. There's some very deep wounds that are being healed here that your person is dealing with, and you may not actually know everything about it. They might not have actually shared everything with you, and that could be part of what feels frustrating for you, is that like you don't feel necessarily privy to all the information, and that on one hand makes you feel a little bit like, again, you can't do anything. You're kind of stuck because unless you're invited in to participate in helping process this information or work with this energy, then there's actually nothing that you can do really but stand by and hold space and you would probably prefer to be a little bit more engaged with the process, so that you can feel like you're being more supportive and more helpful than just kind of standing by, waiting for someone to be ready or to be better or to be, you know what I mean, more emotionally available to you. But this is a very deep reading here, a very incredibly deep, mystical, esoteric reading, with the higher octave cards. Sorry, with the major arcana cards that are here: Hanged Man, Chariot, Strength, and High Priestess. It's an incredibly deep journey that people are on, and it does also feel like there is something rather karmic, that there's a contract here that's being worked through, that's being evolved and cleared. Sagittarius, just be patient. I know that you don't want to hear that, because you've been really patient and you already feel impatient. So when you feel impatient and someone tells you to be impatient, it's probably the most annoying thing ever. But your person here is really going through something rather major, and you are as well. Like part of the nature of this karmic relationship that this seems like it is that even though you might feel like your other person is the one with all the emotional baggage, there's something here in this for you as well. And if you can also continue to find ways to dig deep and reach deeper into your reserves of physical, emotional, and spiritual strength to go the distance with this process, I think there is a lot for you to glean as well from the situation. It's not just about your person healing from their crisis or from their trauma, but there's also a lot of learning and growth here for you as well. I think with the Seven of Cups reversed and the High Priestess reversed, there is a lot of confusion and uncertainty here, and it does feel like you don't have all the information available to you. But that's just where it is right now. That's how it is. There's nothing I can tell you about that will make you feel like you understand any better. I'm not privy to that information either. There is a process unfolding here and you're part of it. So Sagittarius, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found that helpful. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.